Welcome back to the Closing Crew podcast. It has been a while since we were last all here together. I am Leif McCurry, your host. With me tonight, I have Paige Albin returning since our second episode. Welcome back, Paige.
Hello.
And then I have Sabian McIntyre here. She has pretty much been our constant all the way through. So thanks for sticking with me.
I have nothing better to do, so here I am again.
All right. Well, yeah, it's been a while. Unfortunately, I got the Rona. I got the COVID. It finally caught up to me. I went through, however many years of quarantine it's been, and then I dodged it all the way through coming back to work and everything, and then I joined one show, and 80% of the cast gets COVID. So yeah, there.
How was it, Leif? How was having COVID?
Honestly, it sucked, but I think that if I wasn't vaccinated, it would have been way worse.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of like the first day I didn't have a voice, which is always awesome.
That was fun for me.
Yeah, well, for you, yeah, because you got to work with Mute Leaf. To be fair, I did take a negative test before I came into work, and then it just went from there. And the next day I woke up and was feeling even more like crap, and somebody else had been like, well, we got it. And so I took another test, and there you go, I had it. And yeah, I mean, the first 2 days it was a lot of congestion. It was a lot of coughing and sore throat. And it was funny, though. It kind of like moved through phases. So I had it really congestion, and then it was like in my throat, and then congestion, and then a headache, and like a fever in those first few days. But then really on the back end of it, it was less of that and more body aches. Like my whole lower half of my body just
that's the worst part of being sick.
Yeah, it was awful. And when I get sick, I don't really get like that. That was really the first time I'd have experienced body aches to that extent.
Wow.
It's awful.
Yeah.
It was terrible. I mean, it was just constantly uncomfortable.
You feeling
for like
better
3
now?
days. Oh yeah, I'm 100%. I'm back. So the show must go on, right? Is the theater term. So I'm still we're in Tech Week right now for Young Frankenstein, and the cast that I'm working with is so incredibly professional and talented. Like you would have known, we missed a week of rehearsals. We got right back into it. It was like we didn't miss a day, haven't missed a beat. We're in really good shape. It's going to be a really good show.
That's this weekend, right?
Yeah, it's coming up.
I know. I was just saying, it's crazy that your opening night is Friday the 13th.
Yeah, and it's Young
like,
Frankenstein. Yeah. I don't think I'd put that two and two together either, but that's cool. I like that. Yeah. What a better way to spend your Friday the 13th. So hopefully this will be out by then, and if you're interested, come get your tickets. I'm
going.
Yes, Paige will be there. I hope some of you guys, if you're interested, you come and check it out. Scott's coming. Scott in the booth. He's going to try to make it. I think Sabian said she's also interested in coming. So you'll see some of the coffee bar crew up there if you hit us on the right night. It is this weekend. Shows start at 7 o'clock on Friday and Saturday, 2 p.m. on Sunday, the following weekend as well. So Street Lamp Productions is the name of the company. You can Google it and get all your tickets from there. If you know me on the social media pages, I've shared it on pretty much every one of my socials, so you can find tickets that way. But yeah, I'd love to see you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. The cast is really, really cool. Very talented. The music is great, and it's Mel Brooks. It's classic. It's if you're a fan of the movie, you will be a fan of the musical. So come on out and support some local art, man. It'll be cool. And as always, we are streaming on Spotify and on Google Podcasts. You can, again, on YouTube. Make sure you give us a subscribe. Make sure you give us a follow on there. Share and tell your friends, because we like being here. We like doing it. We want to keep it moving and have a reason to do so. So make sure you spread the word. So tonight, as you can see, it's just we have a little bit more of an intimate setting tonight. Just the three of us around the table. But we kind of want to keep it light, keep it conversational. I have one interesting topic I want to talk about tonight. Basically, what I want to ask you guys is I was looking at, I had a week to do nothing. Okay, so I was on my phone a lot, and I wanted to talk about like social norms that you guys find as pet peeves, because I have a couple, and they mainly do with social media. I'll be honest. Maybe I'm just getting to be an old head. Yeah, there's a couple of them that I'm just like, to me, it's like a faux pas, but apparently not to everybody. So I'll start, since I'll kind of tell you where my mindset is. I feel
like you're about
to
just rip up everything.
No, I'm not. Not at all.
No, I'm ready. Go.
Not
Do
like
it. Lay it on
so
me.
here's the thing. Like I was just as you do, you scroll through Instagram and I'm flipping through stories, and I've had this thought before. So you know how like people do birthday posts, right? And then it always seems like if you have a birthday post, there's going to be 5 other people that are like, oh my God, my best friend in the world. Oh my gosh, I couldn't live without you, girl. I couldn't live. This guy is the best. Not even the long paragraph. It's the fact that say it's my birthday. Okay.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
It was at the beginning of this or last month, beginning of last month.
Me like, it's not his birthday.
It was, but it's not today. And it will be next time. It's not my birthday.
He's turning 43.
Don't I look? Thanks. I feel 43 most days.
Not 43.
But yeah, so say it's my birthday, right? You create a birthday post that's
My
like,
best
oh,
friend
Leif is
forever.
great, you know, and then
Cute.
Sabian makes one, and then Scott makes one, and
he's
you
my
know, I
best
have all
friend.
these other people that make these posts. And that's great.
Don't
like,
they
I'm
just
all
make
for
you
it.
feel so good though?
They do. No, and that's good. Like, I don't have any problem with that.
Okay.
The problem I have is then if I were to go and add every single one of those posts to my story.
Oh,
So now I have like 30 little, oh my God, I'm so amazing. Look at all of my amazing friends. They love me so much. I feel like that is so narcissistic.
So you're not a hater on people posting the birthday post. You're
No.
a hater on the birthday boy or girl reposting them all
100%.
on their story.
100%. That is like,
right.
like how highly do you think of yourself? You know, to be like,
No,
They're
I think
thinking it's my birthday and I'm gonna live it up.
no, I think a lot of times people do it because they don't want to be rude. Because it's a societal norm to repost it. Because it's like, I mean, if your friend posts it, you're like, oh, especially when you're younger, like when you're high school and stuff. It's like, oh, if I don't repost this, she's gonna be mad that I didn't post it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
you know,
it's like that whole like.
I
Yeah.
didn't even consider that as like a thing. To me, it's like, because I guess, again, maybe it's just because I'm the old head.
Old.
But that to me is like, that I would never have considered that.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person that if it's somebody's birthday, the Facebook notification comes up or whatever, and so-and-so's birthday or whatever, you know, on the Snapchat, it has a little cake next to it. And it's like, yeah, happy birthday. But I'm not going to go on Facebook and make a post. I'm not going to put something on
text
Instagram.
them or call them.
I'm going to text them or call them individually and say, hey, I'm taking some time out of my day to personally wish you a happy birthday or congratulations on something. It doesn't have to be birthdays, you know, it can be anniversaries, it can be major life events or stuff like that. But I'm going to go out of my way to take time to wish that person a happy birthday or to congratulate them. And it's not the look at me show. Look at how cool that I am to say happy birthday to my friends. I feel like it's a much more personal thing to you know, go out of your way and do it individually. So I've never been a big fan of like blowing up the Facebook wall on the birthdays.
No,
and all
I
that
feel
I'm
kind of
not
stuff.
about the Facebook thing, but I think the Instagram stories are fun and cute. I mean, I do it for people's birthdays if I remember. I did it for your birthday.
You made a post. Did I put it on my story though?
I don't know.
No, I didn't. I liked it and I said, thanks. I really appreciate it. See you at work.
Yeah.
see you in 2 hours.
You're like, shut up.
But no, so that's just like, and again, if this is my personal pet peeve, I understand that this is not.
I don't ever think about it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like when I see if it's someone's birthday, because you know, I think it does annoy me too, because I don't like to see the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
I just won't look at their story.
Well, yeah, you can always
You know what I mean?
you can always just swipe
if
it
I hit
and
a
skip
story and it's got more than like 10 little things, I'm like,
no way.
I don't think today we're going to do that. Next.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, I don't know, for whatever reason, I was sitting there and I'm like, God, why do people do this? This doesn't make any sense. It's a very Jerry Seinfeld moment of me, you know, just, you know, but yeah, so that's mine. That's where this whole conversation topic came from. But I know I asked you guys to think of some for you.
Oh, yeah.
So, Paige, I guess we'll start with you. Like,
I want
what's
to
one?
ask you a question first.
Okay, sure.
Because Sabi and I were talking
yeah.
about this, and I was like, I feel like Leif will have a very strong opinion, either this way or this way.
Normally do.
Yes, you do.
You're just very opinionated. We just wanted to know about it.
Yeah.
So on the first date, who pays? What happens? What's going on?
I don't really have. Actually, it's funny. I don't really have a strong opinion about this one. I feel like this is. It's 2022, right?
Huh?
I feel like this should be a conversation. I feel like that. I think that if I had to give an answer, whoever asks for the date should be the one that is willing to pay. Like if somebody were to ask me out and I accept, I'm going to assume that they are okay paying for whatever event that we're going to.
Especially if they picked like the restaurant and what you're doing. Because if they
It's
pick a really
expensive.
expensive restaurant, like I'd be like, wait a minute.
Yeah. I mean, I think going Dutch is a good way to go about it. Pay for your own, especially on the first date. You know, it's like, you know, I'm going to pay for mine, you pay for yours. And then next time, if we decide to go out again, it treats on me or treats on them, however you guys decide it. But I mean, we're all, you know, well, for the most part, if you're going out to dinner, you're adults, you're mature enough to understand what a relationship is, or, you know, where you're going with it. So I'm a big proponent of communication. And if somebody were to say that, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, do you want to split it? Do you want to go Dutch? Am I paying? You paying? How do you want to do it?
I've never heard that before. When you first said that, I was like, what's
You've
go
never
Dutch?
Oh,
heard that
really? You never
saying?
heard that? Yeah, it's just you split the bill. So it's I guess it's originates from Dutch culture, I'm assuming.
I mean,
So,
like, is it rude?
I don't know. Is that bad? Should I not be saying that?
I've never
My
heard it.
apologies if so,
Yeah.
but
No,
I've
when you
always
first
said
said that,
that.
I didn't know what you meant. I was
okay.
like, then you explained it, and I was like, oh, okay. all
Yeah,
right.
you just split the bill. You know, you
Yeah.
pay,
split the
you-
bill,
yeah.
obviously, but I've never heard go Dutch.
Right. Yeah. You just
Whatever.
pay for your own meal. So
Yeah,
like, it's
yeah.
not an even split, but I'm going to pay for what I order and you pay for what you order. You know, basically
yeah,
two
yeah.
bills. No, I don't really have like I said,
Wow.
communication is key, you know, so as long as you're talking about it and
I thought you would have a strong opinion.
no.
You guys get to the date and you're like, I thought you were paying.
Are you
I didn't
paying?
even bring my wallet.
All right, guess we
I didn't-
dashing. Guess we dine and dashing. Let's
We're
get out of
doing
here.
dishes tonight.
Doing dishes.
Nah, yeah. So no, I don't think that is. I don't think there's any strong opinion.
Wow.
either
You've
way on
proven
that
us
one.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
all
just-
right, yeah.
I was Googling social norms and I saw that and I was like, oh, I wonder what Leif thinks about this because I didn't know. I was like, I don't know.
I would definitely say when I was younger, my mindset has changed a lot since when I was
Yeah, I
younger.
was gonna
when
say.
I was younger, I
The
was
guy
very much the
pays.
guy pays
Yeah.
no matter what. A guy pays, and then I realized, wait, that's such a outdated like way of thinking. Like it just doesn't make any sense. You know, again, communication, man. You just make it clear as to what the intention is and to, you know, where you see the night or the week or the relationship, whatever it is, where you see it going. And there's so many relationships now start on social media, right? You have all these dating apps, you have social media platforms that you can reach out, slip into the DMs or whatever it is. But there's no reason that can't be clarified before the date starts. You know, everyone is in constant communication with each other. Especially if you're interested in someone, you're normally pretty much texting them throughout the day, or you're sending them snaps or whatever, sharing memes and stuff. There's no reason you can't just communicate that bit of information. So that's what I would say on that. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
The more you know about Leif, you know?
There you go.
Something new every day.
Okay. I think my main one when I was reading through this long list was shaking hands
Oh.
when you first meet someone.
Okay.
Okay. Or like hugging, or what I think Scott said, like contact greeting.
Sure.
Like, I hate that. I don't want you to touch me. And I am very much, especially with COVID, it became, and like with nursing school, it's made me very like germophobic. And like, if I am meeting someone and they want to hug me, because usually like, it's just I've an experience. And usually a girl who's meeting another girl. They
Yeah.
always want to hug each other.
Oh,
and
right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I look at the person and they don't look clean to me. I'm like,
Yo, those
please don't hug me.
30s, so
Please
back
don't
up.
hug me. Like, I really don't want them touching me. And like with shaking hands, I know so many people don't wash their hands when they go to the bathroom.
That's gross.
And when
Wash
I
your
started
hands, people,
when I started
please.
doing clinicals and hospitals and stuff, and I help people to the bathroom, and if I'm in the bathroom with them and they don't wash their hands, it's like it really like it blows your mind. You're like, okay. Okay.
Now, do you think that's because most of the people that you're helping are in a state of like where they need help, so that they aren't necessarily thinking about, oh, and now I need to go wash my hands, you know? Or is it something that you could help them directly? Okay, now it's time to wash our hands. Or is it more? Are they more coherent than that? Like, I'm not really sure.
More.
Okay.
And I also, it's simple as like, I know like it's very common for girls to go to the bathroom together.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go to the bathroom with friends, and if someone comes out of the stall and doesn't wash their hands,
And they're just like,
and they are very coherent and they are very up to date, you know, and they don't wash, and so many people don't wash their hands.
That's disgusting.
So when I have to go, like, I don't want to do that, and it's been very weird, and it's been a thing for a while for me, like the last like 4 years or something like that. And when I first became manager here, obviously when I did business meetings, it's very normal to shake hands.
Of course, yeah.
And I have made the habit of going like, hi. And I make a point to wave my hand so they know I'm not going in to shake their hand.
I know people that just carry hand sanitizer on them.
Yeah.
They'll shake a hand and hand sanitize.
I mean, I
before
always
they do
have
anything else.
hand sanitizer
Right.
on me, but I make a point to be like, hi.
I can definitely see that, especially now post-COVID. You know,
Mhm.
pre-COVID, I don't think a lot of people really. I'm sure some people thought about it, but it wasn't really that big of an issue. I normally take the cue off the other person. I'll be honest.
Me going like this.
No, I'm not doing it.
I won't initiate
I have
contact.
friends that I've been friends with for years, and I've never hugged, never physically touched them. Katie, never hugged her. I don't think I've ever hugged her. We've been friends for like 2 years. Like, I'm not about it. Don't touch me.
It's weird. I would say that, and you know, I don't want people to read too much into this, but my major love language is touch, is physical touch. That's how I, like, when I'm with a romantic partner, that's how I express my words of affirmation and touch. Like, those are my two big ones.
I think we've talked
right?
about this before.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this too. But that's how I express my emotion. It's for people that I care about. But now also at the same time, I respect people's personal space. So that's
like,
why
hug me.
Nah, never.
Sabian,
I would
get
never.
over here.
But
No.
Just crying.
no, I let the other person initiate. You know, if they want to hug, if they want to handshake or whatever.
They want to punch me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess some people might want to punch me. I'm big about elbows, so I'll do like an elbow touch. You know, if it's especially now post COVID, if it's a scenario where I'm meeting a lot of new people,
too. Yeah.
fist bumps, you know, fist bumps, elbows.
I'll do that. Yeah.
If I mean, obviously, if it's a friend I haven't seen in a long time, I'm going in for a hug. Like,
But
you
like
know.
the thing with it's not 'cause I think with you it's not like germs, right? You just don't want to be touched.
I just don't want to touch anyone.
Mine's
Sure.
germs because I hug you.
Yeah.
You and I have hugged multiple times,
Right.
Because you're clean.
Yeah,
I'm not afraid
take care
of
of
you.
myself.
I'm not
yeah.
afraid of you, Leif. But like other people and
You just don't know.
strangers, I don't trust them, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want you touching me.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's not like I aggressively wash my hands and use hand sanitizer. I just was showing her I recently bought these mini like these like single serve hand sanitizers that we use them in clinical, and you like squeeze it. I'll show you them later.
Oh my gosh.
And
Okay.
you squeeze it and like a little doll of hand sanitizer comes out.
And
And it's
that's
like
it.
this
Oh
You
my
big.
like pop
God.
it open in your hand. She was like, I bought these for the store. I saw them at nursing school. I was like,
I was like, I have like 20 in my
Of
pockets
course-
at all
of course you did,
times.
Paige. Of
you
course
sit down
did.
and they all just pop open. You're like, oh my, oh.
I'm like, oh
At least you'd smell clean, you know.
no. Exactly.
Yeah, it's okay.
But no, yeah. So
I-
mine's germophobia.
I definitely get that. It's I take the cue off the other person and you know, that let them dictate. But I'm also not going to get offended if I go in for a hug and someone's like, you know, I'm okay. I'm going to be like, okay, all right, no worries. Like, you're all good. You know, just you have to be okay with how people are comfortable with what people are comfortable with. So,
But to listeners, you should feel good because I am the manager and I am a major germaphobe. So Coffee Bar is
Can
aggressively clean because I am terrified of dirt and germs and everything. Trust me.
Can
Don't you
confirm.
worry.
The fresh smell of bleach,
Bleach
when you
is
come in.
everywhere. Don't you worry.
I'll never forget the one day that somebody walked in and was like, it smells like pine salt in here. And this was the
As
morning
it should.
after we closed.
it should.
Listen. I keep this place clean.
Yeah, not a bad problem to have.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, like, we lay on the floor. I want it to be a clean floor when I lay down.
Mhm.
Nice.
So,
Yep. Well,
you know,
there you go.
if I stick to the
Exactly.
floor,
You're set.
that ain't it.
All right, Sabian, what's yours? What's your social norm?
I don't like having to open presents in front of people.
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't want them to watch me. I feel like I have such a bad like resting bitch face. Sorry, resting.
You can say that.
Yeah, we
Oh.
say it, yeah.
I feel like I have such a bad like resting bitch face all the time anyway, that I do such a bad job expressing emotions. It could be like the present I've wanted forever, and I'd open it and be like, "Thank you," with like a forced smile.
And that's like crying.
Right,
Like,
literally.
please,
And I feel
please.
bad. And I'm like, no, I really love it. Like, I really love it. But like, if it's like even just more than one person watching me, I feel like I'm like, everyone's looking
It's
at
the
me.
pressure. It's the social anxiety.
And you're like struggling to like get it open. You're like, it's coming. Hold on.
It's coming.
But like, you didn't even read the card. I'm like, what? Where's the card? Like, I'm like panicking. Or do you guys feel that way too? And then everybody's like,
Listen, I vote.
well, everybody's looking at me and I'm like sweating and I'm like, it's so hot in here. I love it. Thank you.
It's great. This is
sweater.
wonderful.
It depends who's
Having
giving
a
me a
panic
gift.
attack.
No, it's anyone.
No, for me, it depends. It depends. Most people, I'm always like, it's the whole idea of wanting to seem like you are happy enough or whatever.
I feel like I have to be over the top. I think
I'm
that's
also
my problem.
I'm also really picky. So a lot of times it's like obviously I'm like appreciative.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I have this.
I'm very much so two little stories that popped into my head real quick about this gift opening
Love
experience. My dad had a camcorder when we were little. Like he was all about the tech. So when he got a new toy, it was all I was always out. And he always loved to film us opening Christmas presents.
No.
You know, this was a Christmas thing. And I remember
That's hell for me.
we were watching through these home videos of us opening these old Christmas presents when we were kids, and I was maybe 5. I was not like old enough to understand.
Yeah.
But my mom, or Santa Claus, had gotten me some books for Christmas, like some really awesome books, like animal books and like educational stuff that now as an adult I'm like, those were really dope. But when I open it and you can see me, I'm like, I rip open the paper and I'm so excited and I go, next one. Like I just didn't even say anything. I just ripped it open. Great. And you can hear my mom go, yeah, zebra books.
Zebra books.
And on to the next thing. Like didn't even comprehend it. And the second part of that is I saw that when I was maybe like 13 or 14. I was like, wow, I was a dick when I was a kid opening presents. Like I just felt so guilty about it. That kind of I can understand what you're saying is that, you know, part of gift giving is the joy that you give, right? That's the whole idea, is that you want to make somebody happy, right? And I honestly have learned that I enjoy giving gifts. Like I'm not a gift giver normally, but like I enjoy giving gifts rather than getting them. I would rather give somebody a gift.
Is that your
and
love
make their day.
language?
Well, no, my love languages are touch and words of affirmation. But I do.
We went over this.
How many times do I have to tell you this, Paige? But as I'm getting older, I'm understanding the appreciation of giving somebody else joy and getting joy from that rather than just receiving all the time, you know,
right?
And expecting to receive things like, you know, it's not for me. So whenever the second part of my story is that my grandfather loved him to death. He was the sweetest man. But he every year from the time I was like 10 years old, Christmas came around, it was a $10 bill. $10 bill.
Okay.
$10 bill.
Right.
You know? And
Consistency.
if I added them up, I'd probably have about $120, you know, so that, you know, whatever. But to him, that's like, you know, here's a $10 bill, you know, get yourself something nice. And the man was blind from like 1984 or something like that, moving forward, or maybe it was a little bit later than that. So he was kind of out of touch. You know, he just spent a lot of time in front of his TV, listening to his sports games and his news, and didn't really have much social interaction other than my grandmother and the kids. So, you know, $10 was a lot to him, but I had to get really good at being like, thanks, Pop. This is great. This is going to be awesome. I'm going to put this in my gas tank. You know, this is fantastic. But in reality, I'm like, well, I appreciate the gesture very much, but what's really $10 going to do?
Yeah, especially
today's,
now.
you know, like in today's world. But not to say I do not appreciate the thought that he was putting in behind, because he was a very sweet man, and he always made sure that he went out of his way to get us our presents and stuff. But I understand the anxiety of being like, how am I supposed to look when I open a present? You know, oh my God, you know. And there have been a couple times where I've opened presents and been like, wow, thanks. Thanks. This is great. I really enjoy this. And then I never look at it again.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like I'm bad at just being a regular human sometimes, because everybody is just so genuinely like, oh my God, this is perfect. And even if I do think it is perfect and I'm so excited, I can't express it. But it's like a double-edged sword, because I love watching people open presents I give them. But like in the back of my mind, I'm like, they're doing a good job. If they don't like it, I wouldn't know, you know. I wish I could do that.
So now at Christmas time, when we're opening presents, my family just wants me to be Santa. So they're like, Leif, you hand out the presents, and then we'll go.
Do you dress up?
I put a little hat on.
No, you need a whole costume.
I don't have one. I would wear it like I wouldn't wear one.
So
like,
that's what we're getting you.
Yeah. So I'm Santa. I hand out all the presents or whatever, and I always try to. I open mine last. Like I'll put mine in a pile over to the side. I'll be like, I'll open mine later. Like
Alone.
Well, no, I'll open them.
Alone.
But I'm not. I kind of understand. I'm not going to do it while I got all eyes on me, and that's how they want to do everything. And it's like I'm just making the piles over here. I'll open them in a second. And then similar to the birthday thing, like I will go to that person and be like, "Thank you so much. This really means a lot to me." Rather than be like, "Oh, thank you, everybody. This is so good."
Yeah.
I will be like, "No, this really means a lot to me. I can see that you put thought into this. Thank you so much." And that to me is so much more special with whoever the relationship is, whether it's your parent, your sibling, your significant other, your friend. That is going to add that connection, I think, so much more through that gift giving process. For me, anyway. So.
I have a good question. What is the best gift you've ever received?
Ooh.
Speaking of gifts.
Recent memory alone, I got a lot of really good stuff for Christmas. I'm a huge Star Trek nerd, and I got a Star Trek cutting board. I got a Star Trek backpack. I got this really awesome. Sarah got me this really awesome like LED color changing Enterprise. That's like this flat thing, and it changes color. So I mean, I got decked out in all the Star Trek gear this year. But the best present I got was probably my first bass guitar that I got from my mom when I turned like 13 or 14 years old. I had like a little toy guitar that I'd always wanted to play music, but I started playing upright bass when I was in 6th grade, and I loved it. I loved everything about it. I loved music. I loved being in orchestra. And up until that point, I had played cello. So I had a cello at home that had been rented. And the school had provided this bass, this upright bass, but it was kind of an old rundown bass. And I could practice with it and stuff, but I really wanted a bass guitar. And I remember I still have it, man. It's an Ibanez, a 4-string Ibanez. I think it's a GSR 300. And I mean, the thing still plays really, really nice. And it's so on to the point where I loved Ibanez so much that I went out and I bought an acoustic Ibanez. I have an Ibanez amp now. And that was probably the best gift that I have ever received.
Nice. That's a good one.
It is a good one. I don't have a good one like that that I can think of.
Mine...
I got American Girl dolls when I was a kid.
Oh,
and
okay.
For every Christmas, I got one, and they were like my favorite thing in the whole world.
How many did you have?
Like 14.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You were one of them. You were in deep. They got you.
Julie, that was my favorite one.
Did you like play with them, or did you like keep them pristine?
No. They're like, because now they're like worth a lot.
Yeah.
Do you still have them?
Yeah, with my nieces.
Oh,
my nieces play with them.
Okay.
But we have like all my toys still, and they play with them every time they come over and make a mess. But
okay.
But the American Girl dolls, like, they are destroyed. Like, their hair is, like, cut and makeup, Sharpies on their face.
Now, is that from you or from your nieces?
From me. 100% from me. Okay. Yeah. And, like, I know a lot of people, like, when they were kids, like, they would get those fancy Barbies or American Girl dolls, and their parents would store them in boxes. Yeah. But, like, my parents, like, they were toys, so I played with them.
Yeah.
So we never stored them in like fancy boxes. They were just like in like the kind you get from IKEA. And so we had like 6 dolls in one container. So they like smushed together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've heard of people that with things of that nature, they'll buy 2 identical. And they'll be like, here's one for
They're
you.
$100.
Yeah, I know.
Expensive.
But I have heard multiple people be like, they would get 2 for Christmas. They would be like, here's the one you can play with. And then we're going to put this one in storage. Idea. Yeah, because they kind of saw this value.
It's like
same
an
thing with
investment.
Beanie. Yeah, exactly. It's like Beanie Babies. You get one and you play with it, and then you put the other one away.
Well, they still make American Girl dolls. So like,
but I have like the ones that they discontinued.
Right, it's the limited run ones that they don't make and then they're not going to make anymore.
I have those, and like my dad was like, "Wow, I bet you could sell them." And he like pulled them out of the basement.
Sharpie on them.
No, stop. There was like spider webs on it. I was like,
yeah, I don't think anyone's
like batting it off.
Well, I don't know. It depends on how rare it is. You know, if it's like literally one of 300 in existence, like even if it's battered up, you could probably still get a good amount of money for it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know that much about them to know. I have like all of the the historical ones.
Okay,
those are the ones I liked as a kid.
Those like the OGs.
Yeah,
like the ones from like World War II was one of them, and like I don't know, like the set. There was like one that was like a hippie.
Oh, I remember that one.
That's Julie. That's my favorite one. Okay. Yeah.
Are these all fictional characters, or are they based on?
No, they're
real
fictional.
Individuals?
They're like fictional characters based on like real historic events.
Exactly.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Like they're all like time periods.
Yeah, we in my class, like in my lecture, they were talking about victory gardens. Do you guys know what that is?
Oh, it sounds so familiar.
It's like from World War II, and it's the only reason I knew it was because of that doll. So like this older woman in my class, because I have like people in my class that are like 19 and I have people in my class that are literally like 60. So like the older woman was talking about it and I was like, yeah, like from World War II. And she was like, why do you know what a Victory Garden is? I was like, American Girl doll, Julie.
Yeah.
I was like, her family had a Victory Garden. It was like they made it because there was like a shortage of food and stuff or whatever.
Got you. Okay.
But like it was funny because I was like, I'm surprised I could pull that out of my memory.
Yeah, what?
I heard Victory Garden. I was like, I know that.
You just like recess back to being like 11. You're like, I've read this.
Yeah, I was like, I know this one. No, really though. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Sabian, what's yours?
Mine's probably like, honestly, my dad is really good at giving presents.
I could
like
see that.
whatever hobby I'm into at the time, he will get me like whatever I need for it, you know? So like one Christmas, he got me like a painting easel and a bunch of canvases and paint and stuff. But like the best thing he probably got me was the camera I still use today. I actually got for Christmas like in 2015, I think, like my first year of college. And like I still use it. So I think that's probably my best present because it was like at that time, you know, obviously like a really good camera.
Right, yeah.
And I still use it now. And I've like upgraded parts of it and stuff. But he's really good at presents. So he's probably like the best gift giver in my life.
It's good to have a good gift giver in your life.
Yeah.
So what's your worst gift then?
So before I answer this, I did want to shout out, I forgot another piece of Star Trek memorabilia I got for Christmas. Sarah got me this really awesome...
Sarah, pay attention.
Really. Sarah got me this really awesome Bluetooth Star Trek communicator that connects to your phone. And you can it makes the chirp sound. So when you touch it, it's like the boop, boop. And then you can just be like, call Sarah.
Oh.
And you can literally speak to them through the communicator on your phone. I hadn't had an occasion where it would be socially acceptable for me to wear it. Well, it's like... The problem I have with it is the magnet on the back of the clip isn't as strong as I would like it to be.
Upgrade it.
And I would hate it to like fall off or like fall in the sink or something
In
like
a
that.
drink, you're like...
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. But I mean, I would wear it all the time if it was like, if it was, you know, if it was comfortable. But I think that it was such a cool thing. We were playing around with it and you can play music through it. And it's literally like a Bluetooth communicator.
Cool.
It's really neat. So yeah, I'd forgotten about that, but it's sitting on my shelf like on display at home.
I love that.
Yeah. The worst gift I've ever gotten, other than the zebra books I got when I was 5 years old.
Yes. I already know my worst gift.
This is a little bit tough. I don't know.
I can say mine because like this person's no longer in my life.
Oh, okay.
So like it's, you know what I mean? So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So someone that one of my family members was together with and they got divorced. For Christmas one year, they gifted me, and I was like, maybe like 12 or 13. I was girly. I did ballet. I danced my whole life.
Okay.
And when I opened it, it was like a bunch of clothing from Hot Topic. And it had like a skeleton and lace on like a dress and like a bunch of clothing. And I opened it.
You're like,
yeah. And I opened it and I thought my grandparents had gotten me it as a joke because they always got me joke gifts. Like it was like a big thing in my family. And I opened it and I started laughing. And my mom was texting me and she's like, no, it's not funny. It's not. I don't think it's a joke. I don't think it's a joke page. And I was like, oh, and it was like,
oh, great.
Yeah, this is nice.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's
I remember
so
like
funny.
it was like one of the only times in my life that I was so taken aback because I'm like, you know, when you get a gift from someone, you're like, I might have to fake it. Like you said with your grandfather, like, you might have to be like, wow.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't even know who this gift was from, so it was like a slap in the face where I was like, oh,
yeah,
I love it.
Oh,
I love it.
Yeah.
That's like whenever I think of like, and it wasn't like it was bad or anything. Like I'm sure someone else would like it, but it was so. It was like, is this for me?
Yeah.
Are you sure this is for me?
You bought this for me?
Like, are you sure?
Yeah. Did you give me the right gift?
Like, is this for someone else?
Right.
But I'm the only girl in my family. Like, I was the only. Like, everyone else.
It could only have been.
I was like,
you,
okay, so this is just mine. All right. Yes.
You're like, when? All right. Next
one.
Sabian, what's yours? I'm still thinking on mine.
I don't know. I mean, like, you know, when I was like little, I was always disappointed to get like clothes or whatever. Like I wanted something like more tangible than like new socks or something. But like, I can't think of a time where I like opened a present and I was genuinely like.
And it's not even like you like hating the gift. It's you like, I'm also thinking of like when you're like, what? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm a vegetarian. So if someone like gave me like, I don't know, like I had this
Outback Steakhouse.
No, but I had this one friend, her dad like got her like a subscription to a steak company.
Yes.
And she's a vegetarian. And she's like,
was it a gag or was it like he was just seriously
he was just like
no
wasn't
hair?
present in her life. So she was like,
she just
but it was funny because it was like like $600.
Yeah,
you know?
right. It's like a hefty
It was
gift.
like
yeah.
Wagyu steak.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Send that my way. I'll take that. Yeah.
Maybe I'm just like good at being like obnoxious about the things I like, and people
Probably,
can just like hone in on it well because like
You're easy to give gifts to.
You
yeah,
are.
I guess
You
I
are.
am
Speaking
easy
as
to
your
give-
Secret Santa from last year, you
True.
are easy to
I
give
forgot
gifts
about
to.
that.
I feel like the things I like are pretty like
Stark.
obvious and easy. Like it's not
Yeah.
like what is she?
you can look at your
It's
Instagram
like,
and be like, okay,
right.
got it.
You're like Halloween, whatever, like
Spooky.
easy things, you know. So I feel like for me, anybody that even knows me a little bit, there are so many like cop out gifts that you could give me, and I'd be like, wow, they know me. But really, I'm just like an open book, I guess, and it's just easy to act like you do know me. So
That's so interesting. I think I'm hard to read then because lots of people give me things.
You
I was
are.
just talking
You're
to
very-
Matt.
You're very hard
and
to
I
read.
said that I hate. It's so funny because people always want to give me something coffee related,
Mhm.
and I'm
they're
like,
well, she
I'm guilty
works
of
at
that.
a coffee shop.
I'm
so-
guilty of that.
what?
I got you a coffee mug for Christmas and
That's-
like coffee
that doesn't
straws and
count.
stuff.
I use that.
Well, yeah, but it's still coffee stuff. You said
No.
everybody wants to give me coffee stuff.
Let me finish.
Okay.
I was talking to him about coffee scented candles and stuff.
Oh.
Because you have that coffee scented thing in your car, the
Oh yeah.
and I was like, she's
freshener.
crazy for that. Like, I was like, I can't. If I was ever given like a coffee candle, so if you're buying me one, don't return it.
You're like, listen. To
I'll
me
tell
right
you now. I like would never want to burn it in my house because it's like
No, I love it.
no,
I seek
hate
those
it.
out.
Oh my god,
Just
I
make
get
a
home,
cup.
I like scrub it off me.
Just
I
make a
don't.
pot of coffee if you want it to smell like coffee.
Yeah.
You know, that's
You
kinda
guys
how
don't
I
like
feel
coffee
about
scented?
it.
We sell them upstairs.
Those are tea candles. And
No,
We
caramel
had caramel
candles.
macchiato.
Did we get a
ones.
coffee one?
We've had one.
Where have I been, man? I had COVID. Leave me alone. It's all right. I have COVID. I have COVID brain. Was it?
It was caramel macchiato.
Oh, I thought it was just like a sweet caramel. Shows what I know.
Where has he been?
I don't know.
I like the tea one better. I got the tea one.
Yeah, I
anyway.
like the tea one.
You guys are like, I hate coffee candles. I'm like, for sale upstairs.
Yeah, please come get them. Yeah.
Well, no, but it's because like I live in coffee. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
right,
Like, I'm
right.
always around it, so I don't want.
I like it. I like the smell of coffee. It smells like clean and comfortable and like warm.
I'm honestly
That's so
nose blind to it.
interesting. Me too.
Like
Yeah,
unless
me
I'm
too.
just
Nah, if it's like a
making it.
fake coffee
Oh,
candle
you could smell that. You could smell that.
It's
True.
like sweeter. It's a little different.
True.
That and like any like outside scents. Ugh, I love candles.
I'm a big fan of clean linen. I
yeah.
love like a clean
yeah, like
linen
laundry.
Smell. Oh my god,
It smells
so
like
good.
laundry in here.
So good.
Laundry.
Or like a lavender. I really
I
like the smell
love
of lavender.
lavender.
So
It smells clean,
lavender
yeah.
candles and like clean linen candles. Those are the kinds that I go for.
I stock up in the fall when it's all those weird like outside where it's like dark woods and like
Smoky fire.
rusty shed.
Rusty shed. All right, our next candle is going to be called Rusty Shed.
Rusty shed.
I'm going to Aroma tomorrow. Rusty shed.
Rusty shed. No.
So my worst gift, and I'm thinking about it, I don't think it was a gift that was given with intent. It was at like a white elephant party.
That can
Those
count.
are
Okay.
the craziest.
I love those gifts.
And
They're
it's
so
funny
weird.
because this gift came from a girl who I would eventually end up dating. And I picked it because so it was a white elephant, or not even a white elephant. We don't do the stealing or anything. It's just like a gift exchange, right?
Yeah.
If you want to participate, you bring a gift.
Yeah.
We put everyone's number down, they pull the number out at random, and then you go up and you pick a gift
Yeah,
out of the tree.
yeah.
Right. So I think I was like one of the first 2 or 3 people to go up. But I knew that she had brought this gift, and I was like vibing on her, right?
Right.
So I was like, I'm gonna go get that gift, and I picked it up, and it was funny because she was quirky, whatever. She had wrapped it in tinfoil and drawn a cat face on it, right? And I was like, haha, fun, right? So I pick it up, and then we open it up, and it's a Danielle Steele novel that she had grabbed off of her mother's bookshelf on
That's
the way
pretty funny.
out.
That is pretty funny.
Because she wanted to be a part of the gift exchange, and she was like,
Aw,
"I didn't buy
I
a
mean,
gift,"
true.
so I was like, I mean, and it was probably.
Please tell me you regifted it.
I know. I think I don't even know if I still have it. I don't even know if it made it all the way back to my house. I'll be honest, but
You're like,
you know, I thought it was hilarious because that's just the kind of humor that I have. But realistically, that's probably the worst gift
You possibly
that I have
get,
ever
yeah.
gotten. Yeah.
I love that.
I love white elephants. Oh my god, I love doing that kind of stuff.
I'm not a fan of the stealing. I think the
Oh, I love
stealing
it.
is too much for me.
It's so savage.
Give it to me.
We had that event with Kevin and they played White Elephant and I was just so into watching them all like steal it from each other and like trade stuff around.
What was the best gift there?
Everybody was fighting for this like quilted poncho thing that was like real cool looking, but they were like stealing it and like trading it, and like it was like one of the first ones to get open too, so it was in the game like just the longest, like going all around. I think I worked it with Tyler and we were both just like, oh, like
It's too much.
I've
man.
never
It's
seen
too
such
much.
a big game of White Elephant, because there was like more than 20 of them playing
Wow.
at once. It was like a huge circle of them, and I was like, this is intense. I've only ever seen this played with like 8 people at a time.
Yeah.
It was like a huge group of them. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm notorious for getting Nerf guns.
Oh,
And
really?
I always get
as a
2
present?
for a white elephant.
Oh,
I will
to
bring
give.
white,
Oh.
and I'll always bring 2.
I was like, why is everybody gifting those?
Next
to
thing
you?
I'm bringing to a white elephant.
Yeah, so
a
I
Nerf
just
gun.
you get 2 like cheap little Nerf guns, and you put them in. You got to get 2 because you gotta
Yeah. Or
you gotta
you-
fight each other,
You
right?
put one
So-
in the gift and you have
and
the
then
other
you
one in your
pull the
pocket.
other one
and you're
out,
like,
ready to go. Exactly, right? So, but that's always fun. It never misses. It never misses. Like people get, Nerf guns, and they'll throw one and then load them up, and then for the next like hour, they're just everyone's just running around the house shooting each other with Nerf guns.
I love the chaos of Nerf guns.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I love Nerf guns. Nerf
It's like
or nothing,
nostalgic.
man.
My dad used to chase me around with Nerf guns and shoot them at me when I was little.
Yeah,
And
I
then
love
we'd be
Nerf
like
guns.
finding like hundreds of those little bullets all over the
Yep,
place, like
yep.
under the couch and stuff. I'm like, oh, well.
Yep, you got to
It's a
make sure you
cleanup
come
game.
armed to get
My-
this big tub of like 200.
My brother, so he lives in a neighborhood where like the houses are very close together, and they mess up their Amazon packages a lot, so they'll get someone else's. And he's gotten like a lot of weird things. And near Christmas, like last year or something, he got a Nerf gun in the mail that was like a machine gun. Like it was
Oh,
huge.
yes,
And
nice.
it would have like a lot of bullets that could
Yes,
be in at a time.
I know
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
what
Yeah,
you're talking
like
about with
the
the
circle?
rotator. Yeah,
Yes.
it's like an old Tommy
Yeah.
gun looking thing.
And
Yeah.
they were like, oh, we gotta like contact Amazon. He's like, and he
Package
bought like
is lost.
Yes.
Yeah.
and he like bought one of those huge packs of like the Nerf bullets off Amazon to go with it.
Yeah.
And his cat, like he would like shoot it and the cat would like sprint, because my nieces were terrified of it because they're like very, very young, like,
Oh,
under
right.
3.
Yeah.
So they didn't like it, but the cat would like sprint across the living room after, because it made that noise when you shoot.
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
It's so funny. Oh my God, I'm gonna bring a Nerf gun next. That's a good idea.
Yeah, they
We
never
should just keep
misses,
them
man.
upstairs for work.
Somebody gets on
Your
the nerves.
drink's ready.
No. Yeah.
Take it.
Put
Good
write their
luck.
name on the bullet. Just
Yeah.
Bang.
Shoot 'em with-
Drinks ready.
Like 6 to the forehead.
We could
Yeah, the
like
suction
we
cup
could like
ones.
stack up the cups in like a pyramid on the table and like shoot them from behind the bar.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Paige is like, please don't.
Paige
please.
would walk in and be like,
No, I don't want to be there that day. I'm gonna be like, no, that's all right. Don't worry about
"It's a day where
that.
it's us."
Don't worry
Yeah,
about me.
yeah.
Don't worry about me. Scott's laughing. Scott's
Scott,
like,
you
yeah.
can come in.
Yeah, so yeah, man, they never miss. And do you guys remember, I don't know if they still made them, the Nerf footballs
Yes. Yeah.
that had the whistle and like
Yes.
the tail on the back.
Yeah.
It was like, "Ooh," you could just hear it coming from like 500 yards away.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
things were so much fun.
I like the way
man.
they feel too. How squishy
Oh
they
yeah,
are.
just nice and yeah.
So they're like full of water and you get hit with one.
Oh,
It hurts so
knock
bad.
you out.
That's the thing. I don't know. The newer ones are really soft, but when like they first came out,
They were
they
hard
were a
ones.
hard plastic, and those little knobs that had the whistle on them, they were like really hard, like harder plastic.
They
so you got
hurt.
smacked
Knock you
with
out.
that thing, and man, yeah, I can remember getting smacked in the head a couple times with those. That was nuts,
They're
man.
rough.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Nerf is like I said, Nerf or nothing, man.
Did you
There go.
did you do airsoft growing up?
No, I play paintball,
Paintball.
and I still have a paintball gun that I
I've
got.
always really wanted to play paintball.
Well, we should go. We should go play paintball. Yes,
Staff
Scott's
party.
in. Yeah. We can go down to Robin Hood and play some paintball. That'd be fun. I have yet to use my paintball. Yes.
What are
yes.
what are the play guns called that there's nothing in them? It just makes the noise and smokes. Do you know what I'm talking about?
cap guns?
Cap guns.
Yeah.
So our ceiling in the basement is leaking. It's fixed. It's fine. But my brother was over and he like was climbing up on a ladder to like try to figure out what it was. And my niece, who is like, 3, she grabs, because he like he had a lot of them growing up and he stores them in the closet. And he
Okay.
was in that closet. So she picked it up and she holds it up and she's like, look. And he looks down and she's like holding the gun up like that. And he was like, and we're all like laughing because we're like, oh, this is from when he was like 12. There's nothing in it. And he played airsoft growing up. So I was like, is that an
Okay.
airsoft gun? 'Cause that's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
hurt if
yeah.
she shoots that. And he was like, no, it's a cap gun or whatever. But there's nothing in it. And my mom takes it and she pulls the trigger and it and like has like the smoke and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
and
the
like
smoke
my
effect.
nieces start like, ah! And I was like,
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I guess it is loaded. I guess it is loaded.
There are some caps left in there.
Right?
Man, yeah.
I was like, I feel like if my niece would have, she would have been like,
My mom was so against gun like toys. Like,
Yeah.
But I think we eventually were just like, no, we're getting Nerf guns. My dad was like, no, let them get Nerf guns.
oh yeah,
it's
Nerf guns
fine.
are
like
they're
just
even
fine.
hurt. Yeah.
And then, but like cap guns, just like maybe it was because they made the noise and the smell.
I mean, they are loud.
They are very loud.
Like it scared me in the basement
It's
yesterday.
gunpowder. It's gunpowder in those little caps. Like that's what's in there.
Anyway.
I remember. Oh, fun story.
Oh, God.
So one time, my friends and I, we decided we wanted to try to make a mini cannon. Actually, I don't know if I was around for this, but I saw
Sounds
all
like I
the
wanna
video.
make a bomb.
So what they did is they
People do
put they took it was like a piece of an old chessboard or something. It was like a slab of marble, and they glued all of this stuff to it, and they took like a pen, the body of a pen, and they put it all together and made it look like a little cannon. Okay, and they drilled a little hole in it and whatever. And they took caps. They took like from like a cap gun that had all the gunpowder in it, and they poured it into this little pen, and they shot it at this drapery that was hanging down, and it made this huge plume of smoke. I don't know how many it must have been like 10 or 12 caps that they unloaded, and then they just shoved this little
Where were you?
In my friend's basement, just like chilling.
The parents upstairs like
no, but it was like this huge flash, boom, like it just like this huge flash, and like they were afraid it was gonna like catch, like the cannon itself was gonna catch on fire. It's just plastic, like
Oh my
pen
God.
tube. And no, but like the thing went and it shot one of the what are they called? There's little metal balls that are magnetic, and you can make like
I know what you're talking about. I don't know what they're called though.
Oh.
Baki balls or something like that. I can't remember what the name of them
Okay.
are. But
Okay,
yeah,
alright.
they made sure
It's like
it
a
fit
bullet.
in. Yeah, no, literally, it was like, can you imagine somebody like comes around the corner and bang, they just get shot with this little cannon,
That would
this
hurt.
little cannonball.
That would
That would leave a welt.
hurt.
Talk about airsoft guns,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, no, that was. That was nuts. We called that little board the board of education because we learned so much about science that day on the
That
board
day.
of education.
That day. Oh, jeez.
Well, yeah.
You have airsoft guns growing up?
I didn't know. My brother wasn't even into that kind of
You
stuff.
missed out.
Yeah, no.
Missed out.
I mean, paintball was a lot of fun. I did play airsoft a couple of times with people. Like my friends were into airsoft, so we played. I went and like.
I was terrified of
and
it.
stuff.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'll be honest. Paintball it hurts less. Like
Really?
people will argue with you that airsoft doesn't hurt as much as paintball. I totally disagree, because if you crank those airsoft guns up, first of all, you can't you don't know when you hit so you can just shoot, right? But with paintball gun, you get hit, you got hit. Now some people would freeze the paintballs, and that sucks because that's like getting hit with a rock.
Yeah.
No, I never played with people that did that, but I had friends that were like, yeah, we freeze them, and like I'll just freeze like a batch, and if I'm playing with somebody I don't like, I'll use the frozen paintballs.
Oh my God, that would
like
knock someone out.
That's awful. Yeah.
I like it.
Seems like I'm into it. Yeah, let's go.
do it.
But I mean, it would leave a welt, and if you turn the PSI up on those guns really hard, you'll get some bruising and stuff. But the airsoft guns, if you got hit like on your skin, like it would break skin, and it felt like just like the most intense bee sting that you would ever experience. And Scott's like, yeah, I know what that feels like. Yeah,
Scott's crying. He's having flashbacks. He's like, ah.
But it's fun either way. We used to play a lot of woods ball, and just go into like the woods and shoot each other with paintball guns. And I remember one time my brother got smacked real good, like right here on the back where the mask ended. He was wearing like a baseball cap, but whoever did got him right there, and he had a migraine for like 2 days. I was like, I'm never playing paintball again. I was like, I get it, man. Yeah.
He's like, ugh.
Yeah. And I felt so bad because I was like, yeah, come on, man, let's go play paintball. Like, big bro.
Was your
Like,
idea.
Like
yeah, I was
crying.
like trying to like be like, I want to have this experience with you, man. And then he got really hurt, and I was like, I just felt so bad. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff with my little brother that I'm like, man, I was such an asshole when I was a little kid.
Me.
And it's just so unwarranted. So Kyle, if you're watching, I love you, bro. I'm so sorry. You're the best dad in the world. Keep it up, my guy. You're doing great. But yeah, so that's one of my most memorable paintball experiences is like Kyle getting hit in the back.
I've never been hit with either. I grew up around them, but my mom made a really strict rule that my brothers couldn't shoot me. They could shoot each other, but they couldn't shoot me.
What the heck is that about?
Well, no, I never played it.
You just weren't interested in
I've
being
shot
involved?
them before,
Oh,
like
okay.
at targets, but I never played like shooting each other. Like I never did that.
It's definitely like, when you get hit, but it's like 2 seconds. You're like, I'm covered in paint now. Okay. And then you just walk away. Now, if you get hit up close and personal, we used to play where we play woods ball, right? So you're in the woods, you're in a specific area. You determine you don't go outside of these parameters. But I used to play with like a bunch of cops. Right, so they were like tactical and stuff. Like
I'd be sobbing.
We'd be like walking down.
Why are you playing with cops? Weren't you like a kid?
So I was probably like 13, 14.
That's a kid.
So I was in scouts, and a lot of the scout dads were police officers.
They're like, let's shoot some kids.
Yeah, no, seriously. So when we were like,
what?
we were old enough, they'd be like, yeah, no, you guys can come play paintball. But they would teach us like the tactical maneuvers and the signs and like what this, how to get out of there.
Scary.
And I mean, someone who plays Call of Duty, like, it's like,
you're like,
this is awesome. Yeah, But I remember they had a rule where if you got snuck up on, say you're like lying in the grass and somebody from the opposite team sneaks up behind you, the rule is they have to announce surrender or die. So like they can put a paintball gun, point blank to the back of your, back or wherever, surrender or die. And if you don't put your hands up, if you start to go for your gun, bang, 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 they can light you up. The rule is that they can light you up if you try, but you have to give this. Yeah. No, literally, I don't think many people really tried because it was like, nope, okay, I'm out, Yeah. So, I mean, we played hard.
That's crazy.
Our big thing when I was little in my neighborhood was playing Manhunt. Like,
yes.
in the dark.
I love that.
That was my thing. That's why I broke all the toes on my foot, though.
Okay, so now you have to tell us how you break all the toes on your foot playing Manhunt.
I'm young. I'm playing barefoot, right? Running around, no shoes on. I'm like running through this field that's like at the end of my neighborhood where they had just cut some trees down. So there's like tree stumps. And I'm running, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to hide over here in the trees. It's going to be good. I'm going to get somebody. I like slam my foot into a tree trunk like so hard. I like flip over it and I'm just like laying there for a second, and at first it didn't actually really even hurt. I'm laying there like, oh, that sucks. Like that's going to be sore for sure. And then I go to stand up and I'm like, oh, I can't stand on my foot. That really hurts. But it's like dark and I can't see anything. This is before, cell phones. I don't have a phone or anything.
You don't have a flashlight on.
So I'm like limping to the corner where the stoplight is. And I look down at my foot and it's just like, it's bad. I'm not going to describe it that much if people are
you have to tell me
later.
Like,
queasy, but I'm like, oh God. So I like turn and I see like two people like running towards me because they're like,
oh, get the earth Manhunt.
Stupid girl in the light, because I played with like mostly guys in my neighborhood. And they get up to me and I'm like, I hurt my foot. Like, I don't know what to do. And they like carry me back to their house and their mom like poured that like hydrogen peroxide on it. And I'm like, I hurt so bad. Oh my God. And then I spent that whole summer like I couldn't put a shoe on. Oh my God. And like I was like walking like on the side of my foot. You know, because you go to the doctor.
How old were you? How old were you when this happened?
I think it was the summer between like 8th and 9th grade. Oh, okay. So I was like pretty young. So, but like you can't like go to the doctor for something like that, So I just kind of like taped all my toes together. So now you can tell like my toes are different on each foot because like I have like normal toes on one foot and then my toes are like more spread out on the other foot that got broken.
She's like, those toes like
they're a little messed up. It's like my finger that's like crooked always, but that was rough. After that, I was like, I'm gonna take a break on the Manhunt for a while. But also like, why didn't I have shoes on?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Why was I'm like running in the dark? Now I'm like weird about not having shoes on outside and stuff. Like it like changed my outlook on that, but it hurt really bad. Like after I looked at it, because you get hurt and you're like, oh, it's not that bad. But then when you like look
and you're like
my arm could be broken this way, but if I don't look at it, it's not gonna hurt.
That's the mistake. You don't look. You
shouldn't look. Yeah.
Like if you break something, just
don't look at it.
Yeah, but like, little 12-year-old me like limped over to the light because I was like, why does it hurt so bad? Like there's no, I'd never broken a bone before that or anything. So I was like, that's weird. Like it was like stubbing your toe at first. I was like, oh, I stubbed my toe really bad. Like I think I probably hurt like my toenail is what I thought. All of the toes.
That's a way cooler story than the time I broke my toe. Because I broke my toe doing the worm.
Please.
Do it right now. Worm on this
I will
floor.
not.
How old were you?
I was probably right around
You're
the
like
same age.
a couple months ago, actually.
Yeah.
He's like, actually last night.
I would think I was in 7th or 8th grade.
Yeah.
I
At
think.
some party trying to
I
impress
was.
a girl.
Yeah, it was a cast party. Yep.
It's always a cast party. First
always
of
a
all,
cast party.
The worst things happen to me at cast
I
parties.
was like, everyone was like doing dance moves or whatever. I was like, oh, I can do the
Of course
worm.
they
So
are.
I
This
This
got
is
up.
already cringy.
I got up to do it, and I can only go backwards when I do the worm. I can't do it forward.
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
going backwards, and I was at my friend's house, and my toe comes down and it smashes into the back of like a
No.
reclining chair.
Yeah.
And I know it. I knew it as soon as it happened. I was like, I
Uh-huh.
just broke my freaking foot. So for the rest of the party, I was upstairs in the living room with like a huge ice pack on
And then
my
you're just
foot.
like embarrassed.
Yeah,
You're
and then
like,
I was just
oh
like,
my god, all because I
the
wanted to do
worst.
the worm.
I know,
you know?
this was so stupid, you know.
Mhm.
And then I found out I had an ingrown toenail on the other foot, so I'm walking around with
Jeez.
2 boots on.
You just need, like, a whole
on-
wheelchair.
yeah, no, it was awful. It was awful. Yeah,
You're
so
down for the count.
it was bad. It was bad. I'm just like, you know, it's like 7th grade. I'm like, big glasses, face
Yeah.
full of
Oh, yeah,
acne,
it is.
braces, 2 boots on, and I'm just like, I'm the
2
coolest
boots.
kid in school, you know. Have you ever broken any toes, Paige?
Well, I think I've probably broken most of my toes.
Oh, yeah?
But I did point. So
Oh, well, that
I
makes
don't
sense.
count.
You broke them on
I've
purpose.
never broken a bone, and I've broken my toes, but I don't count those.
Okay.
Like when people ask me if I've broken a bone, I say no because my toes. Since you don't go to a doctor. I'm like no.
You never broken an arm or a leg?
No.
Honestly, I don't think I've never broken a.
I've
major
like never had a
appendage, knock on wood.
cast
Mm-mm.
or anything. You
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
I've never.
Mm-hmm.
They gave my brother a whole cast for his pinky being broken though.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
I
with
was like,
fingers, it's like different. Like with your toes, there's like since you're like it's just you can't do anything
gotta
for
keep
them.
them in
It
place,
sucks.
yeah.
yeah, you're just like
It sucks when you break toes because there's just
Yeah.
nothing you can
Yeah.
do.
they
And
like put my brother under to re-break it into place. To
I,
put it
when
in
you
a
said
cast.
that,
And
I was like, the only time they do something with your toes is to re-break them.
yeah, and I was like, wait,
Yeah.
we had to do that. Like if I wanted to get this finger fixed, I'd have to get it rebroken, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna have a crooked finger for the
so
rest
we'll
of my
heal in the
life.
correct way is why they do
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
Mhm.
Yep.
It's nuts.
I don't.
I don't need my
I'm
toes
good.
rebroken.
The sound
Thanks,
of
Mark.
good.
the sound of bones breaking like really grosses me out, and I don't think I could ever go into that field of nursing.
Ugh,
I'd
yeah.
be like, "Ugh,
Is that osteo something? What is how do you?
osteo.
Is that bones? Isn't that bones?
Yeah,
Yeah, like
Yeah. Yeah.
osteologist.
Osteology.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, got it. All right. Yes. All right. Yeah.
Well,
I
hopefully-
have zero interest in it. I'm like, keep it away from me. I don't care what it is.
You're like bone what? No.
no, not my deal.
Not the
Because
bones.
like the act of having to break it to do it, I'd be like,
Do you crack your bones?
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
My toes, because I've broken like most of them.
oh, I can crack them good.
me too.
Yeah.
I will bend them and they'll all like.
I'm always crickety crackety.
The
all
toes I
time.
broke can
Yep.
bend so much farther than the other ones. I'm like, that's good. That's
like my big
probably
toes,
fine.
they can bend very far. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
my
a-
big.
evolution, you know.
You know how people have like hitchhiker thumbs?
Yeah.
I
My
have,
toes are like
I have
that, yeah.
hitchhiker big toes. Like they bend like all the way back, and I'm like,
Do either of you have that?
nasty.
I don't. My best friend, his thumb can go from here
No.
to here.
No.
Like,
Matt.
bang! It's
Matt's,
just like crazy
Matt's
thumbs.
can be like completely flat, and I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
it's terrifying.
You got that?
Scott, put them up. Oh,
no,
that's
no
not even
hitchhiker
bent.
thumbs for Scott.
I thought you said, you
get
put
your
your
toes
foot up
out,
here?
Scott.
He's got
Let me see
hitchhiker
your
toes.
No.
All right, guys. Well, on that note, I think we're gonna wrap it up on the hitchhiker toes. Thank you for joining me tonight, guys.
I hate
This was
myself.
fun. I had a good time with this one. Again, follow us on all of our social media pages. We're on Instagram, yes. Closing Crew Pod on Instagram. Give us a follow on there. Share it with all your peeps. And we will see you next time. Come on down to Coffee Bar and visit us and say hey. Tell us you like the podcast. Yeah.
New crew next.
Yep,
Thanks, Jesse.
Yep. And we're gonna have some new merch coming soon. So keep an eye out for that. Hopefully we'll have some Closing Crew merch coming as well. So we'll keep you
Ooh,
posted.
yeah.
And we'll try to get that out as soon as we know really what we're doing with it. So I know it's been in the talks, but we'll try
Yeah.
to get some stuff out. So thanks, guys. And we will see you next time. Catch you at Coffee Bar.
Bye.
Bye. Package is lost. Yeah.